Welcome to day 3 of my plein air painting road trip to Savannah, Georgia. First things first, I'm gonna stop off and get some coffee. I'm at the Wormsloe Historic Plantation site. Just got off the shuttle and I'm walking down the trail here with my painting gear, looking for a place to paint. But it's something like 400 acres of land here. So there's a lot to explore. But I can't stop walking because the moment I stop walking, the mosquitoes are crazy. They said it would be flooded down here. That's the trail that normally runs here. So I took a little side trail. But I think I can find a little place to set up over here. Interesting. It's like metal working station. These are actual historic sites that were used on the plantation. How cool is that? I think I gotta paint that. That's such a cool little house. Little stove or something over there. Let's take a look inside. Whoa. Look at this little house. How cool. There's a ladder that goes up, I'm guessing, to the bed, the bedroom area. Right here. Yeah, that's so cool. The Wormsloe Estate dates all the way back to the early 1700s, and it was the property of a physician named Noble Jones. There's still mosquitoes. I don't think they're as bad as they were on the trail, but I'm gonna have to keep shifting my legs around and arms around. It's gonna make it difficult to paint. One family has overseen the property, and their name has changed several different times over the years. It has gone from Jones to DeWren to Barrow. 9x12 canvas wrapped panel. All right, I think I'll work it like that. Try to get some shadows on the ground, some light on the ground, light hitting the side of the house, and then right next to the house, the trail leading off into the woods. Don't get an opportunity to paint something like this every day. Then we got like a fence back here. Start back here. So there are several different locations to explore on the property itself. They gave me a map that had 11 different locations. Because I was carrying so much painting gear, I didn't hike around the entire property. I went to a place where I thought there would be something cool to paint, and so I went straight to a section on the map called the Colonial Life area. This area simulates what it would have been like at the time when Jones owned the place. He had Marines and servants and probably some enslaved servants living on the property. And so this would have been the area and kind of the living quarters of these people. There is a historic entrance gate that is no longer used by the general public to get onto the property. That is now the private drive of the Barrow family that still lives on the property. The Wormsloe Grand Masonry Archway, it is a scenic oak avenue, and there are 400 live oaks that were planted on the side of the driveway by the Durens in 1891. Wormsloe was a fantastic place to visit. I wish I could have seen more of the plantation, but what I did see was beautiful, and it was very peaceful. There was not a whole lot of foot traffic, but there were some people that did come and stand over my shoulder a little bit to see what I was doing. Everybody was very kind and had nice things to say to me, but it was a little bit difficult lugging the gear around the property, and it was extremely hot. But all in all, it was a really good experience, and I would have liked to have planned better and maybe gone to another location on the property, but I just didn't have quite enough time. I had taken a little bit too long on it, and I was starting to get hungry, a little bit dehydrated. I had a lot of walking to do to get back to the shuttle, and so I was just kind of hot and done for the day, but I did leave the property and found this fantastic place for lunch. I had a salmon sandwich, and of course, if you're in Savannah, you have to have fish, you have to have crabs, and it was amazing food while I was there, and I really enjoyed my plein air painting road trip. So this was day 3, and my trip was coming to a close. I had the evening and the morning the next day, and then I was going to be driving home.
So when it comes to this painting itself, I did a lot of pushing and pulling. I did warm it up and then cool it off. I darkened it, then lightened it, put in some detail, but then I would soften some of the detail that I was putting in. So I was pushing and pulling like that, and I would soften it a little too much on accident, and so I'd put a little bit more detail. So the part that I found trickiest about this painting was actually the forest behind the building. Getting the greens right, getting the sky holes coming through on the left side of the painting. I did end up putting some really vibrant greens in a few areas, and I wanted those to be the places that the sunlight was just breaking through the trees and hitting the ground, giving the appearance that light was coming through the left side of the painting and hitting the ground on the right side to lighten those greens and really brighten things up, and to get enough detail that it looked like there was a real forest there. When you put too many greens together, it can look like one big blob, and that's always the hard part about using greens.
Start pulling out some of these brushes here. Oh my goodness, there's a lizard on my painting. Look at this. Look at this little guy. Look at that guy. He's so cute. He is coming right down to see me. Look at this little guy. He is right in front of me. Oh my goodness. You see him? He's right here on the top. He is literally on the painting. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna put some sky holes in over here and then maybe do a little touch up down here, and I'm gonna call it finished. Here's the scene. Light kept shifting and changing, and I spent too long on it. I've probably been out here at least an hour and a half, pushing 2 hours now, but I think I got a good light effect on it. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Give you a close up. I'm gonna call this one finished and move on to the next one.